Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my video. Now, like I was saying before, the connection that I find Fiona, Cordelia, and Mallory has together is that all of these characters manage to do something that has a connect tie into the deity that is known as Heket. Now, Fiona calls Heket the mother of angels, of cosmic worlds. And we saw that Mallory, like I mentioned in my first video, Mallory has embodied all of those things. And Mallory was so strong that even Myrtle Snow said that when she saw the deceased deer, she didn't just resurrected it, she reversed its lifespan. Like, she resorted the deer back to its youthful days. And that was very, very powerful. And even the different other characters that we saw in the past of American Horror Story, even Zoe was like, I can't even question what type of spell was that. The way she brought some of the characters back, it's like nothing never. It's like she rewrote reality. And now that we're seeing the uprising of the second coming of Michael Langdon, and as we saw what season 12 has brought to the table, I could honestly say that American Horror Story is doing such an amazing job tying in the season from past seasons. And I think a lot of people didn't see this coming. A lot of people didn't see this coming. With the book novel that they followed from Delicate, which is a carbon copy of the Rosemary Baby, and how the connection that they trying to expand the lore of American Horror Story. This was an amazing tie-in to my predictions and what I thought the season was going to be, and that the fact that the connection that they're having right now is insane. This is why I say American Horror Story has been one of the best shows, especially when they're trying to connect the season. So with Fiona Ascension to Supreme, becoming the youngest Supreme to obtain the seat of Throne of Power, and Mallory becoming one of the last Supreme to obtain one of the strongest abilities that we've seen so far. And the crazy thing is, if you look at how Mallory is dressed and how the reflection of Heket, she is like the reincarnation of Heket in human form, because the abilities that she has, it is much stronger than Supreme that we've seen before. And I remember in season 8, Zoe was like, I don't think it's Michael that's bringing your energy down. I think it's Mallory. And when they saw it seemed like the power struggle between Michael obtaining the Warlock's 7 Wonders and mastering it, and Mallory doing the same thing, bringing someone out of ashes from nothing to someone or to something. Mallory is the reincarnation of Heket, the Greek goddess of crossroads and witchery. So she is able to do powers even above a supreme. And I think she's considered more of an alpha supreme, and that Michael is considered the and I even thought that Timothy was going to be considered like the alpha, right? Because we saw all the warnings when the first episode of season 8, which I will say that I definitely plan on covering season 8 on my channel. That will be coming very, very sooner than you think, because there's so many possibilities right now from what I have seen from season 12, and I cannot wait for part 2, which they actually started filming. It's insane. And like I said, I was planning on, like I was mentioning, I am tying everything that I saw from the past seasons into connection to this season. And like I said, Delicate has been a treat. Coming into the season, I thought it was going to be something that I was not going to have time to watch, compared to the past season, which was season 11, NYC. Season 12 is here to stay, and it's definitely moving up to my ranking. Now, like I said, the witches that we are seeing in season 12 and the connection that they have from the past season, it, you can't hide it anymore. It's there. And the reason why I say the season is now slowly but surely is tying into connections, which I think it will be perfect if they start tying these things in as we approach season 13, which I believe that should have been the penultimate for season of American Horror Story in general. That would make it perfect sense for the witches to come back. Like I said, Haket, if you look at the drawing of Haket and how her headdress and her drawings and how the ornaments that she has works very similar to the witches that we have now, which that would explain those group of witches are special. They're coming from a longer line of I would say even secrecy or even higher magic than the New Orleans witches that we grown to love. These witches looks like they're more darker and they're more cunning than the ones that we got to know. And that we know that Mallory, from what they said, Mallory comes from a line of witches that are closer to the witch trial ones. And we see that the description of Haket, the different three faces that it has, right? Each faces may have like an ability or one of the powers that Haket has, right? And that we could clearly see that in the season of the Delicate, and how Shaban, the character that Kim Kardashian plays, is one of the witches. Each person that is part of those hooded figure um, are part of the whole witches thing. One is wearing a torch. The other one's wearing I'm not sure what that is, but it seems like the Haket character is like three-person in one body, which is able to be omnipotent, omnispectrum, which is able to be there at so many places at the same time. So it definitely has me puzzled to what this season is telling us. What is it planning to reveal more of what season 13 is going to be? I'm actually more grateful that they gave us the break, even though it was due to the fact of the writer's strike, which will give the season more anticipation when it comes back for part two. Even though the cliffhanger that it had was freaking shocking, phenomenal, I think that my prediction of this season so far and the revelation of the connection that it has, mind you, these characters, especially the new witches that we saw, they tie back since Queen Elizabeth the First time. That's like in the 1500s. Like, they're ancient. They're very ancient. And that timeline is not too far from the Scaffage timeline, which will make perfect sense that these group are like either the second generation or the third generation. And that will make them extremely powerful. And that there's not just one of them. I think there's like five of them, if I'm not mistaken. And these order is they look like the Court of Owls from the Batman. That's what they look like. And the headdress looks very similar to Haket's, and the wardrobe, it seems like this is what they worship, and these are the people that they have. And it seems like there's two sides of them. Maybe one side is good, maybe one side is bad, but to put things to better terms, this is gonna be insane. If I'm right, you will be the first person to hear it here, that this will be one of the bigger connection to the American Horror Story season as a whole. And I think if you guys are very interested about my predictions of what I said, please like and subscribe, because like I said, the sooner American Horror Story come back, you know I'm going to be covering this season, because this season is so damn good. Like, I think it was a slow burner when it got there, but the sooner the season got there, it picked up so quickly. It escalated so perfectly. And I think this is the first time they worked on a novel and they focus on one. I think American Horror Story have a new formula, and I think they should focus on that formula where adapt some novels and make sure that the novels still find a way to tie in to past seasons. So this was my big prediction for 2024 of part 2 of American Horror Story Delicate, and the connection it has from season 3, season 8, season 6, as well as season 12, the connection it has. So like and subscribe, guys, please. I'll see you guys in the next video as we are counting down the Renaissance. Later, guys.